Now, to make more sense of the current COVID relief status in this country, we have the head of communication of gender, labor and social development, Mr. Frank Mugabe. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening, my brother.
Now, for starters, I want to understand, when will the rollout reach the 500,000 people that were initially planned for? Given that data is just being compiled, especially for Kampala, some of us have not received our relief money.
Sure, indeed. Actually, the biggest task in this whole process is the data entry.
Okay.
Because we are picking it from the lists that were updated in the villages and putting it onto a software on the computer. Okay. Now, imagine if you're working in a place like Kampala that has so many people. It's going to take you so long to update those. But we have found a solution to that.
What is the solution?
We have brought in more data entrants.
Okay.
So the process is going to move faster. And once this data is already on the system, then the payment is an easy bit. Whatever is already uploaded, you can just pay everybody in there by a click of one button. So we should be on course to do this by end of next week.
Okay. You did take, that is government, it took like over 21 days to release this kind of relief. The lockdown is halfway gone. Will the end of lockdown, by the end of the lockdown, will the vulnerable have received the relief fund?
I can assure you that by the end of the lockdown, everybody that was on the list will have received their pay, because we lost some time, yes, because we were putting up a software for this. Remember now, we were having many agencies working together. You have the telecoms, you have Post Bank here, you have government. We also have...
But we had a full year, Mr. Mugabe, to plan for this. We knew that COVID has more than one wave that was coming, and here we're you know, having knee-jerk reactions as a country. Are we ready?
No, not really. We are really ready, because if I told you that...
We are ready, and it has taken us 21 days to get the money.
If I told you that the software we are using now was developed by IT guys in about 3 days, you'll be surprised. A software that can...
I can't be surprised. We had a whole year, Mr. Mugabe,
yes,
to plan better as a country.
But we didn't know we would be dealing with passing on hard cash to people. You know, if you're passing on hard cash, you need to have a watertight system that is free from manipulation, that follows the regulations you have on information sharing.
And you can do that in a year?
No. Yes, it depends on when the need comes. Because remember, the president gave us the instructions while he was addressing the country on 18th July.
Yes.
And once he gave us those instructions, that was a Friday. By Sunday, we had the position paper ready. Once we had that the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development was involved, our permanent secretary, Mr. Agri David Chibenge, got his team running already to develop a position paper. And actually, you would like to know that the cash option was a suggestion of Minister of Gender team. And we are lucky that Office of the Prime Minister adopted it.
You decided the cash relief, right?
We gave it as
the
a
Gender
proposal.
Ministry.
We gave it as a proposal.
How did you arrive at the 100K?
Last time they had hardware foodstuffs that people got were worth 80,000 per individual. So we said that, okay, if you calculated the costs involved and logistics, what if we saved that and added an extra 20,000 to the 8,000 that everybody is supposed to get? So we kept the same calculation of the food items per individual, which was totaling to 80,000, and then we put on a 20 extra after the savings we had made.
While you're doing that, as gender that came up with this kind of thing, did you try to read the UBOS reports that shows an average how much a Ugandan spends on food, beverage per month? Did you refer to that report before you came up with the figure?
We refer to all government reports. You can imagine how many agencies are working on this. We have NITAU, we have NIRA, we have Ministry of Gender.
And that's where the problem is.
Now look, we look at the figures that are available. For example, the households we are targeting are only 38%. And we pick the original figure from a UBOS report. We say in the municipalities, 38% of the households we want to target are there. the targeting of the most vulnerable persons. How many people work within urban centers, and how many of those are low-income earners and depend on a daily income? All those figures are a calculation of figures we already have from government statistics that are collected over time.
Now, you've said that you're working with the different agencies, NITAU, NERA, as well as other agencies in data, right?
Yes.
Then why are we just entering data again? If we have those, why don't we, you guys in government, why don't you advise that we have one data collection center where this could have been done in just a day?
Data is available, but what they call validation, there will always be something to change. Just like you go for elections every 5 years.
Yes.
Every 5 years, the Electoral Commission will come up with a list of registered voters, but there will be changes to make. Okay. So once you go into validation, there will always something you need to update because people move. Today I'm working in Kampala, tomorrow I'll be in Mbale. So it means when you're doing a validation, you're going to realize, just like the people have given us feedback. We found people who are in Mbale, people in Gulu.
But you're
that is very
telecoms.
Okay. That is very okay because people move, situations change,
and people die.
And the purpose of doing validation is to pick out exactly those changes and then update the lists and submit for final use.
And that takes us a whole year.
It doesn't take a whole year because look, we started this last week. Okay. By now our guys have already done pretty well.
Mugabe, this is my last question.
Yes.
Do we have a contingency plan in case you are struck by Web 4, Web 3 and all that, because now it's a ministry running this?
Government, no, it's not only the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
You're representing government here.
But government as a whole is well aware of this catastrophe we call COVID.
Do they have
plans?
There are
several plans in place, just in case we need to pull out of our bag of plans, what plans to engage at what point.
Thank you.
For example, look,
in 1 minute.
By the time we went to a total lockdown, do you know that cases had shot up? Hospitals were getting full.
Yes, they were.
People were complaining. My person is sick. People were having 4 or 5 people sick in their house.
True.
And then the president came up. Remember, we had already entered some sort of lockdown.
He locked us.
Then he came up and said, let's institute this measure. What is the situation today? The cases have gone down. So government is well aware of what we're dealing with. And all these situations come to respond to this. And you've had the colleague from Gulu who received the money today. He said, I was doing badly, but now the cash is doing wonders for me.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Frank Mugabe, the head of communication from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.